Alright, my first video that I did of this didn't have any audios, but this one now does, so thankfully we can get into this. On my different usernames Discord, I showed a picture of the current work in progress for the SGCQB for the French operators from Rainbow Six Siege. Whenever this photo decides to open, you guys will see. And there was some talk in there about doing kind of shell ejection stuff for guns and the like of whatnot. Most of the shotguns that I've made for Rainbow Six Siege, I think all of them, the M1014, the 590A1, and now the SGCQB, can all load shells directly into the magazine tube right below the barrel. All of them are able to do that. Someone in there had talked about looking into doing shell ejection, and it kind of got me wondering if I'd be able to do it myself, and I had a couple ideas on how to do it and whatnot, so on and so forth. That said, I uploaded a video about an hour ago that showed a concept that I had for shell ejection and how I could get it to work. So for an actual real-life demonstration of how that actually works, please check out that video. It's really short. It's actually in super slow motion as much as possible. I recorded that with my Samsung Galaxy S8 so that you guys could actually see what happens, because in reality, when I flick that lever really hard, it just kind of disappears. You really can't see a lot of the mechanics and stuff that's going on. So I decided to go ahead and bring that into LVD and take that mechanism and turn it into what you see here and how this basically works. So the first function that I kind of want to get out of the way is that this is the shotgun shell. It's in backwards just to make getting it into place easier by deleting this piece and replacing it with another. But this can actually get loaded into the gun, into the magazine tube, which would extend down this direction here. So in order to do that, there is a loading gate down here at the bottom. Pretty simple stuff. Obviously the rest of the receiver would be built around all of this. This is kind of like a cutaway to show you guys exactly how this works. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually move this part out of the way so that the mechanics here actually work. So the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to start to push the shotgun shell into this little bit of loading gate. So that's going to start to rotate this upwards. Eventually this is going to hit the ejector, which is the brown part. You can see that there's not enough clearance here for our shell to load. So in tandem, both of these are going to move together. This is going to rotate upwards, like so. And this is going to follow it upwards, like so, until it stops. Clearly, this is plenty of space to load this shotgun shell and many more down the tube as you would need to. So that's the first function of this out of the way. The second function is the ejection part and how that ejection works. It's pretty simple. There is just enough space. If we go ahead and hide this out of the way to give us a better view, there is just enough space to fit a shotgun shell sitting in here, right about here. In reality, this would actually sit, if we could, just ever so slightly lower down than what it is now. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys that a shotgun shell, it will fit in there. It's going to be really tight, but it's going to work because this is how the one that I have in real life works. And it's going to be pinched between this brown ejector and these red slopes coming up over here. So basically how this works is, if we hide this out of the way, you have a shotgun shell that's sitting here ready to be ejected. So you need to then apply a force upwards on that shotgun shell so that it gets pinched between these slopes and wants to take the path of least resistance out of the gun itself. So basically how we're going to do that is by using what we have here. This is going to start to rotate upwards. As this rotates upwards, it's going to pinch the shotgun shell between the ejector and these slopes. It's going to keep going, and slowly but surely the shotgun shell is going to start wanting to go this direction out of the gun. Eventually this will hit the top. By this point the shell will probably have cleared the actual ejection door over here on this side. Pretty simple stuff. It's not too difficult to understand. The third aspect of this is that you cannot eject a shotgun shell until this door is open. This actual ejection door is out of the way. So there's two different arms here that are going to interact with one another to actually accomplish that goal. So if we just fix our mistakes real quick here. As you can see, this is the first action bar. This is the one that's actually connected to the pump of the shotgun. This one works pretty easily. There's not too much going on here. This actually sits in a track here using these pieces. This is a really tight fit, but it is something that you can do. You can see that there's just, if we come up here, you can see that there's just barely a little bit of a gap on this, but it is possible to do this. So as you charge this section of the gun, if you actually want to, we can actually show this in progress. So as you charge this, this is going to slide backwards like so. Oh, that's right. We had a snag here because of this, but you know, for the sake of demonstration, this works. This is going to keep sliding backwards, and it will fully open as this piece here finally interacts with the green one over here. So what happens when this fully opens is now this green one is also impinged on by this section here. The green one is actually responsible for the camming of our ejector, which is the brown piece here, using this cylinder. So as this green cam moves backwards, it's going to impart force on this portion of the ejector. So as force is brought back here, this is going to want to move out of the way. So to move out of the way, it's going to want to move down, which is going to rotate the ejector up. So that's a pretty simple concept. That's actually, believe it or not, how a lot of real life guns work. There's a lot of cams and stuff like that in real life guns. But basically what that happens is that delays the actual ejection portion until the ejection door is open. The actual ejector works via a camming action that is impinged upon using the pump action up here and this white operation rod and this cylinder going back here. And then the shell gets pinched between the ejector and the slopes here, and it ejects out the side of the gun. Simple but complex, all in the same. This is a really cool design, and now that I got one kind of down, I'm kind of tempted to see if I can go back through and kind of maybe see if we can add something like that here. I'm not entirely sure. I do kind of just want to finish the French operators and call it a day. So that's about it for this video. I just kind of wanted to show you guys what's going on here and how I've now got a working shotgun shell ejection system going on. So that's about it. I'll see you guys later in another YouTube video. Thanks for watching.